Hello and welcome to the show. We have a new Volvo on Forza Horizon 3. The 242 Turbo is finally back. I'm very excited to see this car back in a Forza game, and naturally I'm going to turn it into a hill climb monster. Now, Volvos previously have struggled a little bit in these various rally build series. Problem is, they've tended to be relatively high starting PI, haven't really been able to get very many parts on them. That is not going to be the case with the 242. It starts off as a relatively low C-class car, so there should be plenty of space for me to throw parts on and make this car pretty damn quick. We are going to, of course, start by turning it into an all-wheel drive vehicle. It's also not too heavy to begin with, and by the time we're taking off the weight reduction and so on, it's not going to be too terribly heavy, which is always a helpful thing. Oh, I want rally lights, but I also need downforce. That is a real shame that we can't have rally lights and downforce. Unfortunately, downforce is going to be needed. We are also going to be needing the rear wing. What's that gonna get? Okay, so we can have mud flaps. Oh, mud flaps that actually add drag. They improve braking. I mean, I guess technically there's a little bit more drag that would help with braking fractionally. Yes, I want that. I want that, and then we can have we can have a tiniest of although again, interestingly, it's actually adding weight as you might expect. An extra bit of metal too. I'm not sure we're going to bother with that. Shame we can't have rally lights. Disappointing. And it'll have to do with all of that. Tyres, yes, we're going to want some nice snow tyres. We're not actually into A-class yet. Please be big. 255s on the rear are okay. The front tyres are my bigger concern. Okay, well, we get 255s all round. Could be worse, I think, is the is the way to go with that. I'm not sure what we're going to have to do engine-wise. We will come back to that in a minute. We are going to want all of these bits and pieces on the car. We're going to be wanting a roll cage. I think we are going to go for weight reduction. We've got enough PI to be playing around with. It's also now up to £3,500. So I think weight reduction is going to be important. Yeah, we're now under the £3,000 mark, which is nice. Okay, what engines do we have an option of if we do have to change it? We have the Turbo Rally engine. We have the 3.2 litre i6 and the 6.2 litre V8. The i6 is a fractionally lighter engine. We will see. I don't know if the standard engine is going to get enough power. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope. I mean, it's a decent. Don't get me wrong. It is a decent engine in this car from standard. However, we're probably going to be needing quite a lot of power to get it to the top of S1 class, and most of the car's standard engines in this game, with a few exceptions, are just simply not up to the job. You just can't get enough power out of them. It's a little bit of a shame. I'd like to be able to see more cars able to get more power out of the engines. Yeah, we're nowhere near. We're nowhere near going to make that happen, so we will have to go for an engine swap. As much as I like the Turbo Rally engine, and we did actually use it for the first time in the Tamo, it's not going to be any use in the Volvo, it's not going to get the power. So our options lie with the 3.2 litre i6 or the 6.2 V8. The i6 is slightly lighter, but I know it is a little bit more limited in terms of power, and the V8 has got a hell of a lot more torque. I think we're going to go with the V8. I think we're going to go for a V8 Volvo 242. Sounds like a plan to me. Now, we could go for some twin turbos. We could go for a supercharger or a centrifugal supercharger. What I mean, seeing as it is called the 242 Turbo, it would be rude to supercharge it, so let's put two turbos on it. And then let's go fiddle around with the rest of the engine. As you saw, the car is slightly heavier, however, there should be ways in here to get some of that weight back out again. I mean, we're up to the 500 horsepower mark here. 500, or in fact, we're almost up to the 600 horsepower mark. We probably will be by the time we're done with this engine, because this car is jumping up PI massively at the moment. A small concern. In general, when cars do this, it means that we are going to have a lack of grip. Do we go camshafts or do we go turbo? Maybe we're going to go for a little bit of both. I think we'll try and balance it. We'll go for a stage of turbo and a stage or two of camshafts. Yeah, we'll go for a balance. 800 horsepower. 800 horsepower in my Volvo. Oh god, this thing is going to be a monster. And it's not particularly heavy either. That's scary. That's very scary. Now, we are going to leave one PI because, oopsie, continue working, I'm just going to go through here and stick on all of these bits and pieces. Now, because we've done a driveline swap, gearbox and clutch tend not to make a huge difference to PI, so yeah, we'll leave that there. That we can get the driveline on as well. Let's have a look for flywheel while we are at it. This is looking scary. Okay, I've already put the flywheel on the car. My bad. What, did I just see that? Yes, 2.9 seconds to 60, it reckons. Top speed 182, I'm guessing it's got relatively short gear ratios. Admittedly, it does also have the aerodynamical properties of a brick, but doesn't matter, we're on a short course, so short gear ratio should be okay. That's the Volvo. It is crazy. It is one of the more powerful cars we have seen go in this series. If this is controllable, I think this might go towards the top, but that is a very, very big if. So it is off to the Devil's Corners hill climb with our crazy Volvo. I'm going to get 3 runs up this stage to try and go as fast as possible. Our current leader, the Lancia Stratos, a 157.2. That is a pretty damn quick time. As I said, I think the Volvo has got the power. It has got a crazy amount of power that maybe just be enough to make it one of the fastest accelerating cars we have had, but it's all going to come down to just how well does it do through the corners. If it's good enough, yeah, I think we could be seeing a car to challenge the Lancia, and so far, I'm quite impressed with this Volvo, and I was only tackling the snowy tarmac rather than the snowy dirt that we're coming to here. However, this is nowhere near as stupidly crazy as the Datsun, for example. That's going to have bigger tyres than this as well. Admittedly, the Datsun was lighter. This might have a very nice power-to-weight ratio in that, yes, it's got 800 horsepower, which is a lot, but weighing just under 3,000 pounds might give it a little bit more control than you get out of the likes of, well, the Datsun, the BMW 2002, the cars that were absurdly light. It's certainly not lacking speed, though. It's 124 miles an hour down the back straight. I'm being a little bit cautious under braking as well with this car, so I think there's a little bit more speed that can be got out of it. That's 110 miles an hour across that next jump. Come on, Volvo, there we go. Easy does it. Fourth gear does seem to be working pretty well. Yeah, the gear ratios are very short in this car, so I've got to be... Oh, I jumped too far. I jumped so far we missed the corner in the Volvo. That doesn't tend to help matters a massive amount. Come on, Volvo, get around the next couple of turns. This is looking very fast indeed. Can we be flat out? Not quite. Had to have the faintest of lifts. However, oh, ice patch bad. Ice patch, don't get caught on that one. Yeah, okay, so things went a little bit wrong. Oh, things have gone very wrong towards the end of this, the end of this run, which is a little bit of a shame. However, there is a lot of promise with this car as we round the penultimate corner. One more turn to go as we then fire the 242 towards the finish line. It's a 58, I think 1 or 2, a very low 58 for an opening run. Oh, I was right. The Volvo is, I think, going to be challenging those top cars. That is a really surprisingly nice vehicle to drive. So, we need to find a second of time, and I think that is quite doable. It was a little bit scruffy towards the end of that previous run, and we will, of course, get quicker as we get a little bit more experience with the car. So, yeah, I think this might well be doable. The Volvo just has so much grip. I don't know how it has the amount of grip that it does. It is really very, very nice to drive. It hasn't got crazy tyres. It hasn't got, well, crazy wings, and I wouldn't imagine crazy amount of downforce and so on. It just grips on the snow. It's just... It's a really rather impressive car, and then of course we do have the power to get out the other side of the corners very quickly. It's not the fastest accelerating car we've had, but it is right up there with them, and it is carrying the corner speed, and you put it all together and you get a hell of a vehicle. I do think probably keeping it in fourth rather than going down into third at times is going to be a good idea. Yeah, I've made a couple of just been slow through the opening hairpins. If we have it in third, or you just kind of buzz the limiter and spin the wheels a bit. I'm not sure fifth though was quite what we wanted to be doing there. Although we will want third for these tighter hairpins. Come on, car. There we go. Get it around. Now, don't overshoot this hairpin. It goes so fast we tend to launch a little bit too far. I think we're a little bit behind in terms of in terms of time, but never mind. We're probably going to end up for a very, very similar time as last if we can get the icy straight correct. Get it lined up neatly. There we go. Right, fire the car down here. There we go, avoiding the ice patches. And turned. Yeah, it's carrying. It's not quite as fast as we have seen from some of the real handling cars. That is to be expected, let's face it. I mean, the XJ220 was mega fast coming off the icy straight. Admittedly, a little bit of luck involved in that Jaguar run. Yeah, a little bit scruffy that time around. Didn't find. I thought we lost some time there. Yeah, 58.8. Not fantastic. Just sort of some duff driving from me. Well, we get one more try. Let's hope I can go faster. Well, we are still on the hunt for that second of time. I do think it is possible with our Volvo. This is a mega fast car. I also love how the speedo only goes to 85 miles an hour, and we are above that for a lot of the time. Because, well, yeah, the Volvo was not really designed with an 800 horsepower V8 in mind, I'll be honest. It wasn't quite the intended engine for this car, but there we go. Okay, around the initial hairpins we go in our tank. It is surprisingly agile for a tank. I don't think it quite carries the same corner speed as the likes of the Lamborghini Countach, and that's perhaps fair, and that is perhaps to be expected, but it isn't so far off. And then we do have the 800 horsepower of V8 Fury out of the corner to deal with. That was absolutely lovely around the double apex turn. Carry as much speed as you can. How brave dare I be under brakes. Again, it's 125, not quite the full 130 miles an hour, but that's plenty of speed. Soar through the air through the next section. Again on the brakes. Brakes aren't too bad either. I say this car's heavy, that would be unfair. It's heavier than some of the vehicles we've driven, and it has smaller tyres, yet the brakes are still very, very effective at getting this slowed down, which is always nice. Things are looking good on this run. Come on, Volvo. We don't quite have the composure through, for example, this corner that we have seen from some cars, but then we have the acceleration to run down the icy straight. Now, neat and tidy does it through this next corner. Just a kick of oversteer as we end up running slightly towards the wall. Big jump from the Volvo now down towards the final couple of corners. Get that front end turned. Try and get a neat line through the final part. Run towards the line. It is. Oh, I think it's the first car into the 56s. I think that was a high. Oh, not quite. Not quite. A 57.0 from the Volvo 242. Yeah, that's a mega good car. I'm always happy to see a Volvo towards the top of the leaderboard. I was hoping and I thought it might be a decent car. Wasn't expecting, when I saw we had 255s on it and so on, I wasn't expecting it to quite have the grip and the composure that it does. But there we go. The Volvo moves to the top of the leaderboard. It breaks up the Italian duo there to take the first place. 0.2 of a second faster than the Lancia Stratos, 0.3 of a second faster than that Lamborghini Countach. The Donkervoort will move out of the top three. I mean, we're a second and a bit quicker than the BMW 2002 Turbo and the likes of the Dodge Charger and so on. That is a hell of a car. That really is a hell of a good car when it comes to scrambling up this snowy mountain. There is a lot of grip, there is a decent amount of traction. I think it's about the perfect power to weight ratio in that there is an awful lot of power to accelerate the car out of the corners, but it's not too light that it becomes crazy. And I think you put all of it together, and it is a very, very good formula for this sort of racing. However, that is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.